Thanks for joining me for chair yoga. Let's get started. So let's go ahead and step the feet wide here as we settle into our seat. Starting to comfortably rest the weight of the feet evenly onto the mat. Pressing through all four corners of the feet. Starting with a full deep inhale through the nose. Heavy exhale through the mouth. Good, full inhale through the nose. Heavy exhale through the mouth. This time as we inhale, starting to gently lift the chest, feeling the rise as we inflate. As we exhale, feeling that gentle deflation as the body rests into our seat here. With our next breath, let's go ahead and take those arms tall overhead, reaching high. Exhale down. Good. Inhale tall. Exhale to lower. Good. Inhale, reaching. Exhale down. Perfect. For those feet nice and wide once more, let's go ahead and fall forward here into our first forward fold. Sliding down those legs. And with a big heavy exhale, sinking forward, letting the head start to look at the wall behind us. Finding another breath here, maybe noticing a gentle pull on the low back. With our next inhale, sliding right back up. Good. Let's step those feet together here. I like to slide back into the chair for a twist. Let's take both hands and send them over the right thigh. Full inhale as we look to the right. Exhale to release. Twisting left, both hands. Good, full inhale helps us sit tall. Heavy exhale. Back to center. Let's take that on each side once more. As we inhale, looking right, twisting right. As we exhale, coming to the left. Good. Inhale, back to center. Stepping those feet wide once more. Let's start to work into the hips here. Starting to come into some hip circles. Good. As we take those deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Perfect. One more full inhale. Exhale, gently falling forward. Good. Let's take that around one more time for good measure. Deep inhale and exhale, coming around. Good. Here we're just changing directions. Let's take those hip circles in reverse. Good. Heavy on the feet here. Nice even weight distribution. Pressing through the four corners of the feet. Starting to warm up those hips here. Good. One more circle all the way around. And we'll find ourselves back tall at center. From here, we're going to come into some cat-cow breaths to start to warm up the spine. So as we inhale, lifting the chest, looking towards the ceiling, and we're starting to kind of direct that tailbone towards the wall behind us. As we exhale, rounding, hands where they're comfortable. Good. Inhale, chest lifts. We're arching the back, pointing the tailbone towards the wall behind us. Exhale, rounding, reversing that C of the spine, tucking the chin towards the chest, curling the tailbone under. Good. Big full inhale to rise, arching back. One more time here. Exhale, rounding forward. Tailbone curls under, chin tucks. Inhale, arching back. Perfect. Back at center here, let's go ahead and come into some lateral flexion of the spine. We're going to start by dropping off towards the right, letting that arm hang heavy. as we look up towards the left. Full deep breath in through the nose. Heavy exhale. Good. Deep inhale pulls us upright. Let's drop it off towards the left, letting that arm hang nice and heavy as we look up towards the right. Full breath in. Full exhale. Good. With our next breath, pulling towards center, we're going to take that once more on each side. As we drop right, we're looking up to the left. And I like to find a gentle rise and fall here. Really focusing on having those abdominal muscles and the low back muscles aid us in rising up and falling to the side. Perfect. And then just taking this at our own pace, matching to the pace of our breath. Inhaling as we rise, exhaling as we fall. Good. Next breath pulls us up to center. We'll do that on the left. Dropping first heavy to the left as we look up to the right. Big full breath to lift the chest here. And we start to find that rise and fall. Good. Again, working on that lateral flexion of the spine. The ability to lean over, to reach for things we need. Keeping us mobile through all directions. Good. A few more breaths here. Rising on the inhale, falling on the exhale. Perfect. With our next inhale, rising back to center here. From here, let's bring those knuckles together. If we're having any shoulder or arm issues, we can keep them kind of low. Otherwise, we can kind of bring them to collarbone height here. Stacking the spine on top of itself, we're going to find a nice slow rotation to start. Good. Heavy through those feet. Nice even weight distribution. We're kind of imagining leaving the lower body behind as we twist from the waist up. Good. Keeping that spine nice and stacked on top of itself. Rotating through center here. Full deep inhale. Full exhales. Starting to send our gaze a little further behind the shoulder, almost looking behind the chair here as we rotate. Perfect. Once more on each side. Right and left. Perfect. As we come back to center, dropping those arms here. And we'll take a brief shrug of the shoulders up towards the ears. Pinching those shoulder blades together, sliding them down the back. Good. Again, inhale, shrugging those shoulders up. Exhale, pinching, sliding them down the back. Perfect. Let's go ahead and pop those elbows out here. And we're just going to draw a few circles, starting to warm up the shoulder girdle here. Bringing them close towards one another at center. Making those circles as big as is comfortable. Breathing. Good. One more circle forward. When you're ready, just reversing. Let's take that back. And elbows kind of come low here, towards the ribs, towards the waistline. Rolling forward. Good. Low. And rising up. Good. And this doesn't have to be a strict movement. We're just trying to warm up the shoulders here and all their little attachments. Perfect. Let's go ahead and drop those heavy arms for a moment, sliding forward down the legs into another forward fold. As we exhale, gently dropping the head to look behind us here. Good. Finding a deep breath or two, letting the head hang heavy. We can even start to draw some circles with the chin or with the nose to help the neck relax. When you're ready on our next inhale, sliding right on back up those legs. Good. Bringing our elbows to the lower ribs, to the waistline once more. We're going to take a salute type motion here in the arms, so nice flat hands, palms facing one another. As we inhale, rising up towards the forehead, coming down. Good. Rising for 3. Rising for 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Perfect. Dropping those arms once more. Keeping our focus on the shoulders here. We have those elbows towards the lower ribs, towards the waistline, palms facing one another. This time, we're gently rotating out and coming back in. Good. Rolling out to center. Inhale out. Exhale in. Perfect. Working on that external and internal rotation. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Dropping those arms once more. Let's bring our focus back to the legs. We're going to step those feet together at center, kind of sinking back into the chair. I like to hold underneath for some extra support. And we're just going to start with some leg extensions. So kicking one foot forward, really pointing, driving through the toes, and then the other. Good. Alternating at your own pace. And we'll start to match the breath here. Big inhale to rise, pointing strong. Exhale, lower. Inhale to rise, pointing. Exhale, lower. Perfect. And just taking that at our own pace here. Starting to warm up the tops of the thighs. Good. Now, while we're alternating here, let's go ahead and bring the feet into a flex position. So really pressing through the heel, toes pull back. Good. Driving through the heel, toes pull towards the shins. Good. Sitting tall, lifting through the chest, really stacking that spine on top of itself. And most importantly, breathing. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Stepping those feet wide once more. We're going to slide a little more forward in the chair. We're going to come right back into those hip circles. So feet set wide, even weight on the feet. With those hands on the knees. Starting to draw some circles. Super slow motion to start. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. One more nice, slow, full circle all the way around here. And we'll meet back tall at center. When you're ready, just changing direction. We'll take that right on back in reverse. Good. Breathing. Deep inhale through the nose. Full exhale through the mouth. Last full circle here. And then we'll meet back at center. Let's go ahead and cross the hands to opposite shoulders here, kind of like you're giving yourself a hug. Those feet are still nice and wide. And we're gonna start to tilt forward at the hips. So I want you to imagine your back is a nice flat piece of wood. As the front goes forward, that tailbone starts to poke back towards the wall behind us. So no rounding here. Good. Nice, strong, flat back. And we really don't have to go very far to feel that. As we inhale, rising up. Good. Exhale, nice flat back. Coming forward, that tailbone starts to poke out towards the wall behind us. Inhale to rise. Let's take this into a very gentle back bend, just leaning onto the bar of the chair, nothing crazy here. And taking the gaze up towards the ceiling. Perfect. As we inhale, sitting tall, tilting forward, letting that come from the hips here. Feet are nice and planted. We can even press those knees out towards the walls beside us. Good. As we inhale, rising tall. And let's find that gentle back bend once more. Perfect. And we'll bring those hands to the knees here. So just as we did those hip circles, we're gonna bring the motion into the neck. So let's start by dropping the chin towards the chest here. Really pressing up through the base of the head, the neck towards the ceiling. Big inhale, pointing the chin tall. Exhale to lower. Good, one more time. Inhale, chin lifts. Exhale, coming down. With our next breath, as we come back to center here, let's go ahead and drop the head to one side. So this is the left for me. Left ear towards left shoulder. With our next breath, gently rolling over. Right ear towards right shoulder. Good, once more on each side. As we inhale, left ear towards left shoulder. This time we're actually going to slide that right arm off, nice and heavy beside us, either straight towards the ground or kind of like a 45-degree angle. Really reaching through the fingertips. Imagine you can reach to the top of the head here, really elongating those neck muscles. Breathing, deep inhale, full exhale. Perfect. Gently coming back to center. Let's take that on the other side, right ear towards right shoulder. Sliding that arm off, either straight down or 45 degrees. Big reach through the fingers, reaching out through the top of the head. Full breath in. Full breath out. Perfect. Coming back to center here, we're going to take the head in just a range of motion circle. So dropping back towards one side. And we begin to slowly trace the neck around here. Just being a little cautious of what feels good and what doesn't. Letting the weight of the head carry us around. Still finding those deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Perfect. Letting the weight of the head gently guide us around here. We'll take one more full rotation this direction. And when we pass through center, let's reverse that. Going right on back. Good. And of course, taking an extra moment anywhere that feels tight or tense, maybe just needs a little extra movement. Perfect. One more full breath carries us around this direction. And we'll meet back at center. Let's go ahead and take a sharp look off directly to the right, gazing straight off across that shoulder. Full breath in. Chest lifts. Exhale. Coming to center. Good. Starting to take a sharp look off directly to the left. Full inhale. Exhale to center. Perfect. Let's take a gentle nod of the head, yes. Up and down. And a gentle nod, no. Side to side. Perfect. Thank you for joining me for Recovery Chair Yoga today.